Hi everyone, my name is Zion, and today I'm going to walk through how my business model for sustainable cleaning products has evolved throughout the course and what I learned from testing my assumptions, paying attention to customer emotions and experimenting along the way. When I started this project, my assumption was that eco-conscious individuals wanted more sustainable cleaning products and that they'd automatically choose them if they were available. I thought the biggest selling point would be that they were environmentally friendly, and that factor alone would be enough to make customers switch. But once I started talking to people through interviews, that assumption changed quickly. Through customer interviews, I learned that while sustainability matters, it isn't the only thing that drives their choices. Most people care just as much, if not more, I would say, about price, convenience, and whether their product actually worked as well as leading brands. Because of this feedback that I have, my business model shifted in a couple ways. First, I would say that my value proposition changed from eco-friendly cleaning to probably effective, affordable cleaning products that also happen to be sustainable. And my customer segment narrowed from anyone eco-conscious to primarily young adults and families who just want to be sustainable but won't want to sacrifice the quality of those cleaning products. Another factor was customer emotions, and I would say that played a much bigger role than I expected. During interviews, I noticed that people didn't get emotional when talking about sustainability in general, but they did react more emotionally to specific frustrations, like annoyance with plastic waste, I would say guilt about using harsh chemicals, and just excitement when they found a product that made them feel like they were actually doing something good for the environment. And I would say that customer emotions played a big role in influencing my business model. For example, a few people showed real frustration about how expensive eco-friendly products are, and that reaction pushed me to evaluate a ton of elements. On the other hand, when people talked about wanting simpler, safer ingredients, I could hear the relief in their voices. And that emotional response convinced me that transparency, which is basically showing exactly what's inside the product, that needed to become more of a bigger part of the value proposition. When it comes to experimentation, I would say that experimentation was also an influential part of my business model. My earliest experiment was just a concept test of creating and testing different messages to my consumers. One way of testing was through creating a website, which was an assignment that we did not too long ago. And if I were to test another business model again, I would probably approach customer emotions and experimentation differently. First, I pay attention to emotional responses earlier, and instead of just collecting information, I'd watch for those moments when people suddenly get like frustrated or animated or just enthusiastic. Those reactions turned out to be the real indicators of what mattered. Second, I'd say I'd run experiments sooner. I waited too long to test some assumptions because I just thought I needed to finish parts of the model first. Finally, I'd be more comfortable with just being wrong. At the start, I was trying to validate my idea that future consumers wanted sustainable products no matter the cost, but I was wrong. If I start another project, I'll go in assuming that some of my assumptions will fail, and I'll treat that as part of the process rather than something that I have to avoid. Overall, I'd say that working on this business model taught me that validation isn't about proving my original idea was perfect. It's about learning to question the assumptions, listen to customers, watch for emotional cues, and just use experiments to shape something that actually meets their needs. Thank you for listening.